It is not Christmas. Hi guys, I'm Nate from Good Man Racing. This is the bracket that I'm going to weld to the frame of the truck. It is for one of the rear lower control arms. You can see that this thing got a lot of damage in Mexico. You can just imagine what the frame mount looked like instead. I'm going to prepare this like I did the frame for welding. I'm just going to walk you through that here on the desk. You do need to have eye protection, ideally a respirator or something like it. Something to cut the dust out, and some kind of hearing protection. Now, so long as you have a tiger disc or some kind of flapper wheel or wire wheel even that can take off the paint, that's really all you need. I'm just going to lightly skim the surface, but I'm going to start on these edges here. This has 3 areas to weld on each side of the frame, not these middle parts. Here, 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 and then the ends. Those are the areas that I really want to make clean first. You see this little corner right here that's still black? You want to grind into that and get that paint out of there. We're going to do the same thing over here. See how that's cleaner now? Get the ends. Before we grind any further, check to make sure you have ground these edges that you are going to weld. Make sure they're free of paint. Another thing that I'm looking for is a undercoating, something underneath the paint that can make welding more difficult. Toyota, fortunately, is known for not galvanizing their steel frame parts. It's actually part of the reason why they have such a bad record with rust and multiple materials sandwiched together and catching moisture in between. But if there is galvanizing on this, you'll be able to see a second coating grinding off as you are prepping the outside. Let's find out. And if you over grind, it's not the end of the world because you're going to repaint this later. I'm not seeing any evidence of a galvanized coating underneath the paint. That's going to make this project a lot easier to do. If I suspect galvanizing, there is a way to test that. Copper sulfate is a great chemical for seeing if there is stainless steel or Inconel or galvanizing on top of a steel alloy. So you can even buy that at Home Depot. It's in the gardening and fertilizer section. You can use it in the garden. But it's actually a great chemical for inspecting coatings on steel. Okay, that's looking good. This area is, I'm gonna have to burn through that paint while I'm welding. Very doable, just annoying. I'm not trying to remove the wall thickness of this material, I'm just trying to remove the paint. So I'm not using a lot of force. This little corner was not welded originally, neither was this one, just this section here. However, because I'm going to be burning into this area, I'm going to clean it up regardless. I don't want to deal with that headache. Okay, now that we have the outside cleaned off of paint, this surface is prepped nice and clean. If I was doing this in industry, I would back this up an entire inch away. But since I really am not worried about burning through this paint, I will just weld it like it is, wire brush the stuff off, and then recoat it. The one thing that I have not done yet is skim grind the inside, and that's just going to be a best effort just because of my access with in industry, when we are qualifying welders, oftentimes the welders will fail their very first weld bead just because the back side of the weldment isn't clean. So get some of that paint off, get that galvanizing off. That weld will thank you later. Ideally, more is better, but this is a tiny part. It's thin. As soon as I get it clean, I'm content with it. Okay, so a solid B for surface preparation. This is good enough to weld onto the truck. Before you do a loose fit of a part, make sure that you are oriented the right way. Sticker is out in this case. And give yourself a good wire wheel just to break stuff loose. And realistically, if you can, take a wire wheel and just clean across the whole surface with a die grinder or a grinder instead. You'll do a much better job of removing the paint. In my case, I have run out of wire wheels. I don't have any laying around, so I'm just going to do the best I can with this steel wire brush. Stainless steel wire brushes are an option. However, they do not do a good job of cleaning steel. They do a great job of cleaning aluminum and stainless and Inconel and other materials like that. So really, if you're going to be doing a lot of carbon steel weldments, get a steel brush. All right, I knocked off the dust with that. Now, this is how the part is going to sit on the frame. This particular piece right here lays flat to that. So, as soon as that cups in and is solid, like you hear that snap, that's in place. That would be ready to fit up and tack. Alright, I'm going to weld it right here. Wonderful. That welded great. Thank you, Toyota, for the lack of galvanizing. Sincerely, a welding engineer 25 years later. That's a very nice weld. You see it right there. This little tip you see on the end, that is a silicon bead. That's as in like physical silicon. That's part of the wire to help make it wet better. That's ER70S2 for you, so you'll see those all around. But now I need to weld that on all of these corners
I'm going to check the alignment up here. Fit my grinding mark really good. The welds are matching where they were originally. That'll be a very easy weld. So, now it's time to weld some more. Burn through the tack, physically feed it less wire. Ran out of room with my fingers. Bad luck. I haven't welded in 2 or 3 months. We're not too bad. I'll take that. Good. Watch me miss it. Oh, yep, I did. Jeez. Okay, while I was welding there, my my welding glove opened up. Didn't catch fire or anything like that. That's phenomenal. I didn't get burned or anything, I just felt it propagate and I was like, ooh, I should probably stop. So yeah, if you're ever wondering, Magpul gloves, the Magpul Flight Glove 2.0s, great gloves. Wonderful gloves. If you ever burn through something, fiberglass tape is wonderful, or high silicate insulating tape. Far from perfect, but if you got gloves that you're trying to save and keep using, they are very good for that. You can get it from Home Depot. I use it on everything I break. Okay, my phone died, but I have welded it in. I have painted it, and now it is time to rest. I will see you guys out in the desert, if not my garage. Man, that feels good.